Hey guys, Kev here, and I have something cool for you. So Casey over at Knivesfast sent me his prototype of his new design, the Pinion. And I gotta say, guys, I'm really impressed with this one. I'm excited for this one. This was the design of his that I really wanted to see come to life. I told him at one point that if he didn't do it with Tempest Knives, I would somehow buy the design or work with him as a collab with Devo, because I like this design so much. I'm a sheep's foot blade guy, obviously. I've used it a little bit. And I love a choil. It just has all the things I like. An opening hole, right? Now, it's on the budget spectrum of things, but that's good, right? Because his last go around with the Mach 51, which sadly did not make it through Kickstarter, was a more premium knife at $250, right? This one's going to be in that $85 range, I think. So really cool and exciting, and I think it's just going to be a much more appealing knife to the masses, so to speak, where the Mach 51 was a great knife. It was a great knife as a tool. It didn't aesthetically do it for me, and I think that was kind of the case for some other people, along with the price point, right? So you guys will see I have a new background. I was at Home Depot today, and technically I robbed them. I was trying to buy a sample of something like this. This is like a piece of tile, or it kind of looks like wood, but it's a piece of like really thin vinyl tile with sticky shit on the back, right? I'm not sticking it to anything, but I'm testing this out. I just want something different. The black was just, it got shit all over it. And then I tried gray. That didn't work. I've tried leather, but the light bounces off of that. You can kind of see my shadows here, but I think I got it set up pretty good. So it'll be, you know, we'll see how it goes. But you guys let me know what you think. I like the wood look. That's what I've always wanted. I just couldn't find the right way to do it. I tried to find a mouse pad, and it just wasn't, they weren't big enough, that were like this wood shit, you know, colored or whatever. And then the actual like planks of wood, you know, I have some in my basement. It's like, it's called, what is it called? Cortex or something. And it's like fake wood, but it's vinyl. It's really good stuff. It's what we did our flooring with. But it's so, the sheets are long and they're too thin. So this, they came in 12 by 24 things, but I didn't need to spend 50 bucks on a box of them. So they had one out, like the box was ripped and one was laying out. So I just kind of took it, put it in my stroller with my kid. And then I checked out when I bought my weed whacker, and they got 180 bucks out of me. So I'm pretty sure I paid for the $3, you know. Anyway, why am I telling everybody that? I don't know. Report me. So anyway, back to the Pinion. You're going to get my opinion on the Pinion. I want to take it apart because I think he wanted me to. The centering is a bit off, and I want to see if skiffs fit in here. But real quick, I'll give you the highlights, right? You have this really nice stonewash blade, really good cutout, and a little bit of a fuller going on there. Really cool pivot. Let's see if we can zoom in on that. Test this background out. So there you go. You can see the rim of the car. There's no sharp edges. I mean, it's really nicely done. QSP did a good job with the Mach 51 prototype and the pivot, but this is fantastic. You got AUS 10 there, but the final version will be 14C, I believe. You got the Tempest Knives logo. I would remove that, but hey, it's actually not as bad as it looked to me when he showed me the prototype. I was like, I wouldn't put that there, but it looks fine. In person, it's barely noticeable. You have the clip, which these are some things I would change. The clip, I would move to like a center position and angle a little bit. I think it just looked better if the hole didn't come up to the end here like that. The clip screw, I would try to find a way to seat that deeper. It's definitely going to be an issue with some jeans and such. And then my only other real thing is the blade to handle ratio. So it just seems like you got a lot of extra handle here, right? Like ½ an inch. Now, part of that is going to be the backspacer that comes up and the tip that's going down. But I think you could get another 0.2 on there or something. And then you'd have, you know, 3½ inches of blade. Because I measure this at 3 1/4. If we look at it, and then we'll take it apart. Turn this on. I'm having troubles with this thing not wanting to zero out. See, it should be at 0, but there you go. So if you go here to the end of the scale, that's how I measure anyway, and out to the tip, I'm right at 3 1/4, right? If you want to roll it back, I don't know where you would roll it back to. I mean, how else would you do it? You're supposed to go from the end of the handle, right? And then the handle, I believe, is 4 1/2. Let's see. Maybe it was 4. Nope. It's going to be 4 1/2. Yep, 4 1/2. So you have 4 1/2 there, and then you have 3 1/4 here. So you have 7 3/4 overall. It's basically the same size as the Devo Stout, which is fine, but I think you could fit 3 1/2 inches into this handle, so why not do it, right? The other option is to shrink the handle down a little bit, which I think it would work, because in this choil grip, I have plenty of room there. In the back grip, I still have plenty of room, right? You could cut a little off and you'd be fine. But hey, that's me personally. Everybody's going to have their own thoughts on it, right? So let's get out the disassembly mat, and let's go to town, baby. Try to do this without knocking over everything and its mom. We'll see how that goes. Grab our Loctite KPL. Do we need the heavy? We might need the heavy. And we're going to need T6 and T8. That's another thing I forgot to mention. They used T6s on the body screws. I would definitely be wanting T8 if I was him. And I think he did want T8 and they just didn't do it. So getting into the Tempest Knives. I almost said Mach 51 again. Pinion. A pinion is, I think he said it's a bird's wing or a part of a bird's wing, a bone in a bird's wing. I don't know, something like that, which is pretty cool. So luckily I have the clip over on that side. Maybe we won't have to do anything with it. That would be awesome. Just save us some time, you know. Love this mat, by the way. This comes from Tinker Force, Tinker Force. They have a website, and these are like $30, $25 or something. So here's your scale. Got your scale liner, sorry, and then there's your lock bar. By the way, the detent's solid on this. Had no issues with that. They're using tiny bearings. So this is something I was worried about with our knife, and I'm not sure with the Growler if we specified bearings, because I want to be able to swap with skip, but on a budget knife, I don't think it's the biggest thing in the world. Now, I may have some that fit this, but I'm less likely to now that they're tinier, so we'll see. They are, right? They do look smaller to me, so we can confirm, but the only size that fits DC, it's a 1mm bearing there. The balls is what's 1mm. You have an internal stop pin. Part of the blade there. There's your blade, in case you're wondering. Here's your pivot. There's probably some gunk in there because I put Loctite in and then carried it right after, which is dumb. Should never do that, but I thought maybe I'd get lucky and it would cure in 10 minutes like it says it does, but it never does. This liner we cleaned. Is it, it's a, it is notched. Okay, so this is notched, and then it's notched right there. So, okay, that works. Interesting. I like that style of doing it, actually, to be honest. Okay. I wonder if that wasn't notched properly. Maybe that's why our centering was off. I don't know. Anyway, bearings. Yeah, the only thing that might fit is 5mm, 1mm, and honestly, I have like one set, and I don't want to really use it. So, let's just lube her up, and we'll see if we can't get the centering all taken care of. So, there we go. I always like to take the cage, or the good side of it, facing the blade. That's kind of my way of doing it. Drop that on there. And I'd have to say, we were talking about this in a last video. Do you lube the actual pivot? Well, by sliding a lubed up bearing over top of it, I feel like I am lubing the pivot by doing that. So it's sort of a non-issue, I think. This is where I'm going to take the tiniest drop. I say tiny and then that happens, but that's fine. Just do that. Boom. All right. So we're going to drop our scale on. Not forgetting anything, am I? We go. Put this guy. Oh, you're going to stay? Okay, nice. Nice. Just going to stay together. I like when a knife does that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one body screw in first. I kind of want to see how we're looking centering-wise before I go. It's steel hardware, apparently. I thought he said it was titanium hardware. All right. Could be just how they do it on, you know, prototype versus... Sorry, I just wanted to clean that Loctite off. All right, and then clean the pivot screw because I, again, Loctited it. Okay. I'm going to Loctite it after just to, I don't want to spend all day taking it apart, putting it back together. You guys know me. So let's just get it together, see where we're at. And then we can sort of adjust if we need to, right? I can always take it out and... Yeah, this hardware is steel. So, again, prototyping, maybe they did steel, but I know he wanted titanium so people could mod the knives. So, let's see. Okay. We are definitely better than we were. Yeah, we're pretty much centered here, but let's see how the action is. So I'm a little tight, I think. Now we're off again. Wasn't really any play there, just... So, what do I do about the centering? What do I do about the centering? That clip screw just looks loose, right? It's not. So we can try the centering trick, we can try flipping bearings, or we can just leave it alone. It's a prototype. Why mess with it? It's a prototype, right? And it's not like terrible, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with the not mess with it. I know, me? What? But it's not my knife. Like, I don't own this knife, so I don't feel this urge to make sure it's fully centered. You know what I mean? I know that's weird, but... So I am going to Loctite it now. That pivot is in... Yep, it's popped in. Yeah. Go. Just gonna see what happens. Sheesh. I think that's a good middle ground. One flick. Oh, man, that D10 is on point. So, no play. Drop. Smooth shake. And yeah, it's not dead centered, but hey, it's not terrible either. And again, prototype. This is where Casey's job is to write all these things down, ultimately decide which ones make the final change list, and then he goes to Kubey and sends them. Like when we did the stout, I sent a 13 bullet point list of changes, and they went down 1, 2, 3, 4 and hit every point and let us know what they could do, couldn't do, etc. Right? And that's just what you do. So that is your Tempest Knives Pinion prototype from Kubey Knives. I hope I said that. Kubey Knives. I am most likely going to do a follow-up review because I have this until Blade Show. And I know Casey wants my feedback on it, and I'd love to give it, obviously, and that's what I'm doing here. But I really like it, guys. I am impressed. Yes, on a prototype, I'd want it to be centered, but you know, it happens. I have a stout prototype that I took apart. I just couldn't get centered again. Not that he took us apart, but I'm just saying. We can check and make sure. Just make sure all the other screws are tight, but. Yeah, everything's tight. It's barely off. It just bugs me. So, detent play, none. That thing is a freaking lock. It is locked up in there. Can you shake it out? I'm sure I could if I tried. Wow. No, you can't. It doesn't have, like, the strongest detent. But, hey, they got the retention down. That's for sure. Good for them. I like it, man. It's almost like a flipper tab was, like, wanted to come out here. Like, this would be interesting with a flipper tab. I think it would work, honestly. Be kind of cool with a flipper tab right here. It has a really good grip for a flipper grip. But obviously this is great too. You can reverse flick it right-handed, thumb flick it right-handed easily, reverse flick left-handed. The thumb left-handed is a little bit hard because less access, but you can slow roll it out real easy left-handed. And then you have the fullers to have some fun with if you want to hit it with a ring finger or whatever. I'm not doing it because of the Loctite. So anyway, there you go, guys. That is the Tempest Knives Pinion sort of first impressions disassembly. I took it, I unboxed it earlier, but I didn't wait. I was running out. I'd already waited a day, and I just wanted to carry it. So I've enjoyed carrying it so far. Those impressions, fantastic. Carries in the pocket like a dream. It was a little heavier than I thought out of the box, but now that I've had it for, you know, half a day in pocket, it feels perfect. I feel no issues with it. I think for the money here, $85 whatever dollars he's going to charge for this, it's going to be a gem, so to speak. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But that's my opinion on the pinion. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. Thank you, Casey. I really do appreciate you thinking of me and letting me check this out first. So, I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.